If you're thinking about buying a new construction home, you may be wondering if it's really necessary to hire a realtor to represent you. The truth is that having a realtor is not required, but it is 100% in your best interest to work with one. You might be thinking, well, she's a realtor. Of course she's going to say that. Well, I'm going to give you 10 reasons why using a realtor is a smart move. And I promise by the end of this video, I will have proven it to you. So let's go. Number 1, hiring a realtor costs you nothing. New construction builders incorporate the buyer's agent commission into the cost of the home. So those commissions are paid entirely by the builder and cost you nothing, zero. You may be thinking, well, if I don't use an agent, maybe they'll give me a discount on the house. But the truth is that pretty much never happens. If you don't have a realtor, the builder essentially keeps that money as part of their profits. So why wouldn't you want to have a free, experienced advisor there to help you with everything and answer all of your questions and pretty much guide you through one of the biggest purchases you will ever make? Number 2, on-site sales reps represent the builder. When you visit a community sales center, there will be an on-site salesperson. That person is there to answer questions you have about the community or the different houses or options available through that builder. Nothing against those salespeople. A lot of them are really great to work with, but it is very important to understand that they are salespeople, and their job, first and foremost, is to sell houses and to represent the builder's best interests in that transaction. That is their job. That is what they're paid to do. So essentially, if you don't have your own realtor, you are now representing yourself and your own best interests, which, unless you have a background in real estate or home building, puts you at a major disadvantage. Number 3, contract review. Typically, when you're buying a resale or a used house, for instance, in Georgia, you're going to be using GAR forms, which are contracts realtors use that are written by the Georgia Association of Realtors. These are written specifically to protect both the buyer and the seller, so I would say they're kind of like non-biased forms. When you're buying a new construction house, a lot of times the builders have their own contracts that you are required to use. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but obviously they're written to protect the builder's interest first and foremost. And if you don't have any experience with real estate contracts, you may not know what to look for, or you may not fully understand the verbiage and how it can affect you. A realtor will review the contract, identify any red flags, and make sure that you're aware and in agreement of everything before you sign the contract, which will be very beneficial for you. Number 4, negotiations. Realtors will help you identify the sorts of things you should ask for during negotiations. If they're familiar with that builder, they may know what sorts of incentives they are offering or have offered in the past that you might be able to ask for. A realtor can look at the community's inventory, see how long things have been sitting on the market, and potentially use that information during price negotiations. On top of just price and incentive money, there are other things that your realtor may know to ask for upfront that is specific to that builder, things that you would have never even known to ask about. An example would be that there are certain builders in my area that will only give you one trip to the design center, and you have 3 to 4 hours tops to make up your mind on all your selections. And if you change your mind after that, you're charged for every change order. Your realtor might suggest that you negotiate upfront for an additional design center visit. There are just lots of things like this that your realtor will be able to identify that you will want to address before you sign the contract, because obviously that's when you have all the power, because they want to make the sale. Once you're under contract and you've given them your deposit, you have no power. You're kind of at their mercy. So this is another great example of how you can use your realtor's experience for your own benefit. Number 5, upgrade advice. I give my clients the option of having me accompany them to the design center to select all of their upgrades. I have a lot of experience with new construction design as well as renovation design, so if I can be a resource for my clients, that's something that I want to do. Plus, I really enjoy it, and I like to stay in the loop so that I know what your expectations are. Now, if your realtor doesn't offer that service, or maybe you know that you're not going to have the same style or taste, you may not want want them present during your design session, but you should be able to get some guidance on where the best place to put your money is as far as resale and return on your investment. Your realtor should be able to shed some light on what people are looking for when they're shopping for a house, what features sell houses and are desirable for buyers, and also the things that could possibly deter a potential buyer. Visiting the design center is very exciting, but more than that, it can get very expensive and can be overwhelming, so it's a nice benefit to have an advisor there to help you through it. Also, before you visit the design center, check out my video on design center upgrades, do's and don'ts. You're going to find a lot of useful information in that video that will help you narrow down the upgrades that are worth getting up front through the builder and which upgrades you're better off foregoing and then doing after you close. Number 6, inspections and walkthroughs. As you continue with the process, you're going to have several meetings with your builders, including pre-construction meetings, electrical walkthroughs, pre-drywall walkthroughs, pre-closing walkthroughs, and inspections. And now the realtor does not take the place of having a certified residential home inspector, but it does help to have somebody with you that has been with you through the entire process and can help you identify potential issues or things that were left out or done incorrectly that need to be addressed. Your realtor will also be able to recommend a reputable inspector and let you know what you should reasonably expect to pay for that inspection. Now, nothing is ever going to be perfect as much as you want it to be, trust me on that, but there are just so many moving parts, it's impossible for everything to be done perfectly and nothing to be missed. But the more you stay on top of things, the better off you will be in the end. So if you're relocating from another state or another area, it's going to be really important for you to have a local realtor that's willing to be on site and go to the house and check on it for you, be your eyes and ears if you're not able to be there in person. Number 7, builder reputation. Realtors oftentimes have valuable information about local builders. Having dealt with multiple builders, you really get to know what to expect from each of them, the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's not something a realtor like myself would necessarily put on a YouTube channel for public consumption, but if someone hires me as their realtor, I have a fiduciary duty to my client, and with that comes an obligation to inform and protect your client. A realtor might be able to use their past experiences working with that builder to say, hey, yeah, that builder's great, he has a great reputation in the area. Or they might say, well, I've had other clients use that builder, and these are some of the problems that they experience. So we're going to do X, Y, and Z and watch out for this so that the same thing doesn't happen to you. For example, I just heard that a local builder right around the corner from here actually is having a lot of problems with their HVAC system. A lot of the people who recently bought homes are just finding more and more problems coming up. And so that's something that you would want to tell your client and that you would really want to know about so that you can take the proper precautions, maybe get additional inspections on it or research the unit that they're giving you, maybe opt for a different unit. So those sorts of things are things that you're going to want to know, and I think that they are very beneficial and a huge advantage of using a realtor. Number 8, area knowledge. Realtors will have a lot of knowledge about particular areas. For instance, before buying a house, you're going to want to be forward thinking and make sure that the house that you're buying is going to be a good investment. A realtor would be able to let you know what the resale market is for that particular area or that particular subdivision. They may also have the inside track as to what development might be taking place around the community that could impact your decision. If the realtor has information on a road that's being built, or let's say a shopping center across the street, that is something that you're going to want to know so that you can make the best possible decision. Using a realtor and getting that area knowledge is going to be particularly important for people who are relocating from another state or even just another city or county who are not familiar with this area, and that is going to be a major advantage of using a realtor. Number 9, financing connections. You will find that most new construction communities will have preferred lenders, and if you use one of those lenders, they will contribute money towards your closing costs. That incentive usually ranges anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000. I always suggest that you price out 3 different lenders. So basically you would get an estimate from the builder's lender, and then your realtor should be able to refer you to 2 additional lenders that have good relationships with everybody in the office, who will review the loan estimate to see if they can give you a better deal. It might be tempting to just go with the builder's lender, but it's in your best interest to think long-term and make sure that you're really getting that savings and not just getting it hidden in some other part of the loan. If you find that the builder's lender is a better deal, or if you find a better lender, either way, it doesn't matter. You'll know you're getting the best possible deal on your loan, which can add up to thousands and thousands of dollars over time. Number 10, an advocate. Finally, your realtor is your advocate. They are somebody that's always on your side, always has your back, and will go to bat for you when needed. The builder's agent may be wonderful, but at the end of the day, they will be an advocate for the builder. So it's nice to have somebody in your corner as well. And if you're in the North Atlanta area, hopefully that realtor will be me. I do want to mention that it is very important to have representation before you go looking for houses. Typically, as soon as you walk into the sales center, you'll be asked to sign in and put down your contact information. At this point, whether they ask you or not, it's really important to let them know that you're being represented by a realtor. Even if you're just looking and you're not even sure that you like that house or you even want to live in that community, it's incredibly important to let them know up front that you're working with somebody. If you don't disclose that information up front, a lot of times the builder will let you bring in a realtor after that initial visit, which leaves you SOL and on your own for the whole process if you end up choosing a house in that community. So after hearing all of these reasons, what do you think? Do you see yourself opting for a realtor if you build a new construction home? Or do you think you'd rather go at it alone? I'd love to know in the comments. Also, this video is part of a new construction series, so if you're interested in this sort of information, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button so that you don't miss my next video. Well, that's a wrap, and until next time, bye y'all.